Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because, wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack.
Welcome to Ask Amy from What Fresh Hell Laughing in the Face of Motherhood, solving your parenting dilemmas one question at a time. Today's question comes from Aaron, who emailed us to ask, how can I encourage my kids' creativity and ambition while also setting limits and not losing my mind? My kids are 3, 5, and 7, and during the pandemic, they've really played together well and have learned to entertain themselves. I know we got lucky with their ages during this time. Aaron, I have thoughts about whether that was actually lucky. We'll talk about that part later. But Aaron says, they're driving me crazy with all of their great ideas and huge projects. I'm talking about packing for an imaginary camping trip with all of their actual clothes that I will have to sort and fold later, setting up a library downstairs with stacks and stacks of books from upstairs, decorating for a pretend birthday party with our actual birthday party decorations, which of course got trashed, and I'm still picking Scotch tape out of the carpet. Putting on swimsuits on the first warm day of fake spring and filling the kiddie pool with water and ending up covered in mud. You get the idea. I love their creativity and ambition, but I can't manage and clean up these huge messes every single day. I want to encourage them, but I want to put boundaries around it so it's not such a disaster afterwards. For what it's worth, all my kids are girls, and I want them to be confident, speaking up for themselves and sharing their ideas. But they also need to have that voice of reason when they're all teenagers and one of them has another great idea that's actually dangerous. I'd love to hear your opinions. Aaron, my first opinion is your hard is hard. And having 3, 5, and 7-year-olds at home together during a pandemic is good in some ways because they have each other, but your heart is hard. Kudos to you for letting your girls be messy and think big and occupy themselves all the time. It reminds me of Phineas and Ferb, and why should they have all the fun, right? But the counter argument to that is you might have better things to do than clean up their messes all the time. Aaron, you have a right to put clear boundaries around what you will and you won't clean up, and you definitely have a right to say, hey, I'm not doing this myself. Something tells me you're already doing that, and that's what's leading to the tears and wailing of gnashing of teeth. So I'd pick a calm moment, maybe after dinner, before bed, when the mess is already cleaned up for better and worse. And then tell them you need a plan, that you need help with this, and let these big thinkers be in charge of the plan. How should it work? Should everybody who took part in the camping trip have to clean it up? Should we have a system and whoever's name is on the refrigerator is the person who's the cleanupper of the day? Should we pick a name out of a hat? Let them brainstorm ideas and take some ownership of this master plan so that when it's time to put it in effect, they will at least feel like, well, this is what we picked. The kind of mess that is the bookshelf all over the living room, I feel like that's one kind of mess because it's a mess that will not actually get worse or dangerous if you don't clean it up. It's not like, muddy feet being tracked through your house. The books in the living room, particularly when nobody's coming over anyway, is something that I would suggest you could leave. Put parameters around it and say something like no screens until all those books put upstairs later, and then take yourself out of it. It doesn't really matter if the books get taken upstairs in 10 minutes or 2 days. I mean, of course it matters. It matters to you, right? But the thing that your girls will want to do next also matters to them, and let that be in charge of the books getting upstairs, not you. It occurs to me, I don't know if you've ever heard of the golden triangle of project management. It applies to everything from movie making to home renovations. There's a triangle, and on the 3 points of the triangle are the words good, fast, and cheap. You can have any two, but you won't have the third. In other words, you can do your kitchen renovation good and fast, but it won't be cheap, or fast and cheap, but it won't be good. You get the idea. It seems to me that there's a golden triangle of kids' play as well, in which the 3 points are child-led, neat, or exciting. And you can have just two. Neat and exciting won't be child-led. You need to be in charge of that. Child-led and exciting won't be neat. You've already learned that. And child-led and neat won't be very exciting, which is why they're going to come up with the idea about having the, mud pies in the living room. Put firm rules in place. Anything involving anything from the kitchen or the bathroom, including water, needs your stamp of approval. And later is a fine answer. No is a fine answer. But putting practical parameters around their excitement, I don't think that's something you actually have to teach to them. Like, the world will do that pretty quickly. But just be honest with them about how you want them to have fun, but everybody has to take part in the cleanup too. And then, as Margaret would say, catch your kids being good and heap on the praise whenever they're actually helping get things back to one. Send us your parenting questions and we might answer yours next. Email us questions@whatfreshhellpodcast.com. Thanks for listening.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why customers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.